Welcome back, coin collectors. Today we're counting down the wheat pennies that have sold for huge amounts of money. Some of these pennies may be hiding in your collection right now, so stick around to see if you own one of these rare gems. First up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny specifically. We're going to look at a large date version of this penny without a mint mark and in damaged condition. Curious to know how much this coin is worth in today's auction market? Stick around to find out. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history, designed by Victor D. Brenner and first minted in 1909. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and wheat stalks on the reverse. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is particularly noteworthy as it was minted during the final year of World War II, a time when the United States was emerging victorious but facing economic shifts. Millions of these coins were produced, over 1 billion to be exact, by the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But today we'll focus on the Philadelphia mint version, which can be identified by the absence of a mint mark. This specific penny has a large date and unfortunately is in damaged condition. But don't let that discourage you. Even a damaged penny can have surprising value. Before diving into the value, let's first clarify what we mean by damaged. A damaged coin typically has flaws beyond the normal wear and tear from circulation. This could include deep scratches, corrosion, discoloration, or even bent edges. In the case of the 1945 penny, collectors and dealers will be less concerned with minor blemishes if the coin holds some historical or collector's significance. Although over 1 billion Lincoln wheat pennies were minted in 1945, finding one without a mint mark in good or even damaged condition can still be a challenge. The key to its value lies in its collectability, the large date, and how it fits into a collector's set. 1945 pennies are considered common. But collectors are always on the hunt for pennies from this period, especially with distinguishing features like the large date. Even damaged coins have a place in a collection if they fill a missing spot in the set. On average, a heavily damaged 1945 penny without a mint mark might fetch anywhere from $66,000 for a coin in slightly better, but still damaged condition. You could see bids climb as high as $78,000. Of course, coins in pristine condition can command much higher prices, but even damaged coins are still actively traded. So why are collectors still seeking out these pennies, even in damaged condition? It's all about history, nostalgia, and the desire to complete sets. Wheat pennies like this 1945 version are a piece of American history, representing a time of great change for the country. Many collectors are driven by the idea of preserving that history. Next up, the 1918 large-date Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically one without a mint mark and in damaged condition. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about the value of your collection, stick around. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Minted from 1909 to 1958, the wheat penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 sheaves of wheat on the reverse. The 1918 penny is particularly interesting for collectors due to its historical context during and after World War I. The 1918 large-date version of the penny has its own unique features that make it stand out. It's essential to note that this specific coin lacks a mint mark, which indicates it was produced in Philadelphia, the main mint, during that time. Now, let's discuss the key features that define the 1918 large-date wheat penny. This coin is characterized by its distinct larger numerals on the date, making it different from the small date variety minted in the same year. The obverse displays Lincoln's profile, while the reverse showcases the wheat ears that give the coin its nickname. Now, let's address the condition of the coin. For collectors, the state of preservation is crucial. A 1918 wheat penny in mint condition can fetch a higher price, but today we're focusing on those in damaged condition. Damage can range from scratches and dents to discoloration or wear from circulation. So, what is the current market value of a 1918 large-date wheat penny without a mint mark in damaged condition? As of today, in the auction market, you can expect to see prices ranging anywhere from $66,000, depending on the extent and type of damage. However, it's essential to remember that some collectors are willing to pay more for coins with significant historical value, even if they aren't in perfect condition. For instance, a piece with unique wear or interesting provenance could potentially attract higher bids. If you happen to own a 1918 large-date wheat penny in damaged condition, here are some tips to consider. First, always keep your coin stored properly to prevent further damage. Use a coin holder that can protect it from the elements. Second, consider having it appraised by a professional to get an accurate value, especially if you think it has unique characteristics. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark. But here's the twist: this particular penny is in bad condition. How does that affect its value in today's auction market? Stick around to find out. First, let's set the stage by understanding the historical significance of the 1943 steel penny. During World War II, the US Mint switched from copper to zinc-coated steel to conserve metal for the war effort. This change led to the creation of a unique penny that has since captivated collectors. The coin features a distinctive silver-blue color, which sets it apart from its copper counterparts. The front showcases the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. But the real rarity, the 1943 S steel penny, minted in San Francisco. Mint marks are crucial in determining a coin's rarity and value. The S mint mark indicates that this penny was produced in San Francisco, and it's significantly rarer than the more common Philadelphia and Denver mints. Approximately 191 million steel pennies were minted in 1943, but only about 6 million of those had the S mint mark. Now, let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and the condition of a coin can significantly impact its value. A steel penny in bad condition, such as those with heavy wear, scratches, or discoloration, might not fetch as much as one in pristine condition. However, don't let that fool you. Even in bad shape, the 1943 S steel penny has potential value. In today's auction market, a 1943 S steel penny in bad condition can range from $66,000, depending on factors like the extent of wear, the presence of any unique characteristics, and collector demand. For a coin with such historical significance, even a damaged piece can be a valuable addition to a collection. The market for collectible coins, especially rare varieties like the 1943 S steel penny, has seen significant fluctuations in recent years. As more collectors enter the field, the demand for these unique pieces continues to grow. Some collectors are specifically interested in completing sets, and having a steel penny, regardless of condition, is a priority. The 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history. Even in bad condition, it holds significant value in today's market, proving that every coin has a story to tell. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel 1 cent, specifically the large date variety without a mint mark. And yes, we'll be discussing its value even in bad condition. So grab your magnifying glasses and let's get started. First, let's set the stage. The 1943 Lincoln penny is notable for its unique composition. During World War II, copper was a valuable resource needed for the war effort, so the US Mint produced pennies made of zinc-coated steel instead. This change resulted in the iconic silver-colored penny that we associate with this year. The 1943 large date variety features a distinct, larger 4 in the year, making it easy to spot. But why is this particular coin so significant? Well, it's not just the unique composition that makes it special. The 1943 Lincoln penny, especially those without a mint mark, is often sought after by collectors due to its limited production and the historical context of World War II. These coins are not only collectibles, they represent a pivotal moment in American history. Now, let's talk about the value. As of today, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny in bad condition, defined as having visible wear and possibly some corrosion, can fetch between $76,000 at auction. However, some listings for more significant collectors may push this value higher, especially for those seeking to complete their Lincoln penny collections. While this may not seem like a massive amount compared to pristine examples, it's important to remember that the market fluctuates. Factors such as demand, rarity, and the overall condition of the coin can all play a role in determining its auction price. Speaking of condition, grading is crucial when determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 1 representing a coin in terrible condition and 70 being a perfect specimen. The 1943 steel penny in bad condition often falls into the good to fine categories, meaning the details are still somewhat visible, but the coin shows significant wear. So, there you have it. The 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny, large date without a mint mark, is a fascinating piece of American history. Even in bad condition, it holds its value for collectors and enthusiasts alike. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing content on coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and next time, happy collecting. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Specifically, we're going to talk about the large date variation with the S mint mark, produced at the San Francisco Mint. But what makes this coin so special, and how valuable could it be today, especially in dirty or well-worn conditions? Stick around as we explore the history, the key features, and, of course, the coin's current value in the auction market. First, let's take a quick look at the history behind the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. This penny was minted during an important time in American history, right in the midst of World War II. As a result, there were a few unique twists to coin production during this period. In 1943, pennies were made from steel due to copper shortages, but by 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper for penny production. However, 1944 pennies weren't made from just any copper. They were produced using recycled shell casings from the war effort, giving these coins a piece of history that collectors find fascinating. This background adds sentimental and historical value to the 1944 wheat pennies, making them highly desirable among numismatists and history buffs alike. So, what makes the 1944 wheat penny stand out? First, it's the design. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears on the obverse, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the reverse, you have the iconic wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity. The large date on this particular penny is also an important identifier. While the design of the date itself is not rare, there are variations that can impact a coin's value. Next is the S mint mark, located just below the year. This indicates that the coin was minted in San Francisco. Out of the three mints producing Lincoln pennies at the time, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the San Francisco minted coins tend to be less common, which can add a premium to their value in the auction market. Now, let's talk about condition. If your 1944 wheat penny is in pristine or uncirculated condition, its value can be quite significant, especially if it's graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Coins that are well preserved with minimal wear and a sharp strike can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The value of this coin largely depends on its exact condition and any unique characteristics. Generally, a circulated 1944 S wheat penny in dirty or worn condition is likely to sell for anywhere between $58,000. This might not seem like much, but if you have a large collection of these coins, that value can quickly add up. And there you have it. The 1944 large date Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark is a fascinating piece of American history. While its value in dirty or worn condition might not make you rich, it's still a valuable and collectible item. Be sure to check your coin collection. You never know what you might have hidden away. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, especially the large date variety without a mint mark. But what happens when this penny shows signs of damage and dirt? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the obverse, or front, of the coin. The 1952 Lincoln penny features a profile of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Struck in 95% copper, these pennies are a staple in American numismatics. The large date version, which we're discussing today, is known for its prominent numerals compared to the small date variety. Now, here's where things get interesting. This particular penny does not carry a mint mark, indicating it was produced in Philadelphia. However, what sets it apart in our discussion today is its reverse side, which exhibits some significant damage. You'll notice scratches and wear that detract from its overall appearance. While a pristine example of this coin can fetch a considerable amount, the damage impacts its value significantly. In the numismatic world, condition is everything. Collectors seek coins that are as close to uncirculated as possible. A damaged coin typically lowers its market value, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. In today's auction market, the value of a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged, dirty condition is generally lower than its unblemished counterparts. Depending on the severity of the damage and the amount of dirt, you can expect to see prices ranging from $66,000. While this may seem modest, it's still a piece of history. Recent auction listings show that even coins in less than ideal condition can find buyers. For instance, a 1952 Lincoln penny in damaged condition recently sold for around $3. This shows that collectors are often willing to add pieces to their collection regardless of their state, especially if it's a date and type they need. It's important to note that while some might think about cleaning a dirty penny to improve its appearance, this can actually reduce its value even further. Cleaning can scratch the surface and remove the natural patina, which collectors often seek. So, if you find yourself with a damaged coin, it's best to leave it as is. So, there you have it. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny in large date, without a mint mark, may not seem like a treasure in its damaged and dirty state, but it still tells a story. For collectors, every coin has its value, and this one is no exception. If you're lucky enough to own one, cherish it for the piece of history it represents. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically one with a large date, no mint mark, and in dirty condition. Could this be one of those hidden gems in your collection? Let's find out. The year 1946 was a significant one for the United States. Right after World War II had ended, the Lincoln wheat penny had already been a staple of U.S. currency for decades. First minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, these pennies were designed by Victor David Brenner and feature Lincoln on the obverse side and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny was produced in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we're focusing on today is from the Philadelphia Mint, which produced over 991 million pennies that year. But here's the kicker: it has no mint mark, which is typical of Philadelphia pennies. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This specific coin we're discussing has a large date without a mint mark and is in dirty condition. While condition always plays a huge role in the value of a coin, dirty or environmentally damaged coins can still hold significant value depending on their rarity and demand among collectors. In today's auction market, a 1946 wheat penny in dirty condition without a mint mark might not reach those high prices, but you could still see values ranging from $66,000 depending on how well preserved the coin's details are despite the dirt. Some particularly rare examples might sell for a few dollars if there's collector interest or if there are unique features, like errors. So there you have it. The 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark might not be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, but it still has its place in the world of collectors. Whether you have one sitting in your drawer or you stumble upon one at a garage sale, it's always worth checking the condition and considering its potential value. Next up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, featuring a large date and in fine condition. Stick around to learn about its value in today's auction market, its history, and why it's still so highly sought after by collectors. This little coin may not seem like much, but it has quite the story to tell. From its historical significance during World War II to its numismatic value today, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is a true gem in any collection. So let's dive right into the details. Before we talk about its value, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1942 wheat penny. In 1942, the United States was deeply involved in World War II. The economy was mobilized for war, and resources were prioritized for military use. Despite the challenges of the era, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins like this one, with Abraham Lincoln proudly displayed on the obverse front of the coin. Lincoln's portrait was first introduced on the penny in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of his birth, and it has been a staple ever since. The reverse side of the wheat penny features 2 wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity and was used from 1909 to 1958. This design has become iconic among coin collectors. The 1942 penny was struck without a mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time, most pennies from Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark, unlike those produced in Denver or San Francisco. Let's now look at some of the important features that make this coin unique. First, we have the large date on the obverse. The size of the date can make a difference in identifying certain coins. For the 1942 wheat penny, the large date variety is most common. This coin does not have a mint mark, which, as we mentioned, signifies that it was minted in Philadelphia. While the coin's design is similar to other wheat pennies, its condition and specific details like the date and minting location impact its value significantly. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much is this coin worth in today's market? The value of a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark can vary greatly depending on its condition. In fine condition, like the coin we are talking about today, it's not rare but still sought after by collectors due to its historical context. So, how much can you expect to get for one of these coins on average? In fine condition, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is valued between $29,000. While that might seem modest, coins in higher grades or with exceptional detail can fetch even more. And let's not forget about rare errors. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1942 wheat penny with an error, such as a double die or off-center strike, the value can skyrocket. Error coins from this year can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Several factors will affect the value of your 1942 wheat penny. The most important are its condition, rarity, and any errors or unique features it might have. Coins in higher grades such as very fine, extra fine or mint state are much more valuable than coins in lower grades. To determine the grade of your penny collectors, use a standardized grading scale that ranges from poor to mint state. MS-70, a coin in fine condition, which is what we're focusing on, shows moderate wear but still retains key details like Lincoln's facial features and the wheat stalks. On the reverse, professional grading services such as OR can help authenticate and certify the condition of your coin. This can greatly increase its value, especially when selling at auction or to Serio. Next up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. This particular coin, featuring a large date and no mint mark, is not just any penny, it's a treasure for collectors, especially when we consider its value in today's auction market, even in less than perfect condition. So, let's dig in. First, let's talk about the specifications of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. Minted in the United States, this coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The front, or obverse, features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases the iconic wheat sheaves that give this series its name. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1956 penny is the distinction between the large date and the small date varieties. The large date is generally more sought after by collectors due to its relative rarity. The difference is subtle but important, with the large date having a more pronounced appearance compared to the small date version. This can significantly affect its market value. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.5 billion of these coins in 1956, making it one of the most common years for the Lincoln wheat penny series. However, even with such a high mintage, certain factors like condition, demand, and the presence of errors can make specific coins more valuable. Now, let's talk about value. As of today, the value of a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition generally ranges from $76,000 in average circulated condition. However, if the coin is particularly well preserved, it can fetch up to $1 or more. The condition of the coin is crucial. Dirty coins might not be as appealing to collectors, but they still hold value due to their historical significance. From a collector's perspective, even a dirty 1956 penny can be a valuable addition to a collection. Many collectors appreciate the history and stories behind these coins, viewing them as relics from a bygone era. Plus, the thrill of hunting for specific coins, even those in less than ideal condition, adds to the excitement of numismatics. If you're looking to add a 1956 Lincoln penny to your collection, or if you have one already, here are some tips. First, always handle your coins with care. Use gloves to prevent oils from your fingers from damaging the surface. For dirty coins, avoid aggressive cleaning methods, as this can reduce their value. Instead, consider gentle methods like soaking in distilled water. Next up, the world of the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically the 1941 large date penny without a mint mark in fine condition. We'll be uncovering its history, unique characteristics, and most importantly, how much this coin is worth in today's auction market. Before we get into the value of this coin, let's take a moment to appreciate its history. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, and it remained in production until 1958. The wheat ears on the reverse side symbolize the agricultural history of the United States during that era. In fine condition, these coins typically sell between $29,000 depending on the demand from collectors. While that may not seem like a high value, remember that the condition of the coin plays a crucial role. Coins in very fine or uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more, sometimes ranging from $37,000, or even higher prices can also vary depending on where you sell the coin auctions. Online marketplaces like eBay or specialized coin dealers can all offer different prices depending on the audience and demand. Several factors influence how much a 1941 Lincoln wheat penny is worth. First, as mentioned earlier, condition is key. A fine condition penny has some wear, but more pristine examples will fetch higher prices. Even small details like slight scratches or discoloration can affect its value. So, if you have a 1941 large date Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition, should you sell it now or hold onto it? That's a tough question, and it depends on your goals as a collector. If you're looking to make a quick profit, selling it at today's auction prices is a solid choice. However, if you believe the value of Lincoln pennies will increase over time, holding on to it might pay off in the long run, especially if you come across a higher grade example that wraps up today's look at the 1941 large date Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. Whether you're just starting your coin collection or are already a seasoned collector, this penny offers a unique glimpse into US history and can even make you some money. Next up, the 1996 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, particularly the large date variety without a mint mark, and how it holds value in today's auction market. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore. To understand the value of the 1996 Lincoln penny, we first need to look at its history. The Lincoln penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 1996, the U.S. Mint released a new design for the Lincoln penny, but what makes the 1996 coin particularly interesting is the transition from the smaller date design to the larger date design. The large date variety features a noticeably larger and bolder date compared to its predecessor. Now, let's talk about why the large date is significant. In coin collecting, variety plays a crucial role in determining value. The larger date was introduced as part of a change in minting processes, and collectors often seek out these variations. The 1996 large date penny has become a favorite among collectors because it is part of a limited release and represents a key year in Lincoln penny history. Even though many were produced, finding them in certain conditions, especially in damaged ones, adds an interesting twist to their value. For the 1996 Lincoln penny, while a pristine coin in uncirculated condition can fetch a higher price, damaged coins can still attract buyers, particularly for collectors who are looking to complete a set or for those who appreciate the history behind every scratch and ding. Damage can include anything from scratches and nicks to corrosion or environmental wear. In the current auction market, a 1996 large date penny without a mint mark in damaged condition typically ranges from $76,000, depending on the extent and nature of the damage. However, some collectors are willing to pay more for coins that they find appealing despite their condition. This means that occasionally you might come across an auction where a damaged 1996 penny could sell for a surprising amount if there is enough interest. So there you have it. The 1996 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin with the large date and no mint mark, even in damaged condition, still holds some interesting value in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, every coin has its story, and it's worth exploring. Next up, the most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1950, specifically focusing on the large date version without a mint mark, even when it's in dirty condition. Let's get started. The Lincoln wheat penny, minted from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most beloved coins in American numismatics. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat ears on the reverse. The wheat penny has a rich history and has become a favorite among collectors, especially the 1950 large date variety. The 1950 large date penny is distinguished by its clear, bold numbers in the date, making it a standout in any collection, unlike its small date counterpart, which is often less desirable. The large date version is generally more sought after. Now, let's take a closer look at the specifics of the 1950 large date penny without a mint mark. Minted in Philadelphia, this version does not carry a mint mark, making it a unique identifier among its peers. It is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that classic copper appearance. Today, we are focusing on the value of this coin in dirty condition. While dirt and grime can often detract from a coin's appearance and perceived value, it's essential to understand how this can impact its market worth. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, the value of a 1950 large date wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition can vary significantly based on its state. While a pristine example can fetch upwards of $37,000 or even more, a coin in dirty condition generally falls within the $46,000. Recent auction results reveal that collectors are still interested in these pennies, even in less than ideal conditions. It's crucial to remember that collectors often look for the story behind the coin, and a penny that has been in circulation can carry a sense of history that appeals to many. For those of you who might have this coin in your collection or are thinking of starting one, here are some tips. First, always handle coins by their edges to avoid fingerprints on the surfaces. If you find a dirty penny, resist the urge to clean it aggressively. This can cause more harm than good. Instead, store it properly to preserve its condition. The 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and D mint mark. This specific penny might be sitting in your pocket change, but its value in the auction market today might surprise you. Stay tuned. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is part of one of the most iconic and beloved series in U.S. coinage history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, and the wheat reverse design was minted from 1909 until 1958. These coins are cherished by collectors for their historical significance, with the wheat penny design symbolizing the agricultural strength of the United States. The penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side showcases two wheat stalks, which give the coin its famous nickname now. The 1951 wheat penny with the D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, and in 1951, over 625 million of these pennies were minted. While this number might seem large, finding one in fine or better condition is becoming more challenging as time goes on. Before we get into the current market value, it's essential to understand how coin condition affects pricing. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state MS-70, with fine condition typically sitting in the middle of the scale. A penny in fine condition shows moderate wear, but major details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse are still clearly visible. The 1951 D Lincoln penny that we're discussing today falls under the fine grade. This means that, while the coin may have been in circulation for some time, it retains enough detail to appeal to collectors. Now, what makes certain 1951 D pennies particularly valuable are any rare variants or errors that occurred during minting. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and they can fetch much higher prices than standard coins. Some errors that could increase the value of a 1951 D penny include double die obverse ease or reverses off center strikes, and prepunched mint marks. RPM. If you're lucky enough to find one of these errors on your penny, the value could skyrocket. So what can you expect the value of a 1951 D Lincoln wheat penny to be in today's auction market? Well, as of 2024, the market for collectible coins remains strong. Prices for a 1951 D penny in fine condition typically range between $54,000. While that might not seem like much, remember that this is just for pennies in regular fine condition. The market for pennies in higher grades, such as very fine or extra fine, can see prices in the range of $76,000. In recent auctions, we've seen some 1951 D wheat pennies sell for a premium, particularly those with strong eye appeal, minimal wear, and clear mint marks. Coins with exceptional luster or sharp details have attracted bids from serious collectors. Some examples have even fetched higher prices in online auctions due to competitive bidding. Remember, the demand for coins like the 1951 D Lincoln wheat penny can fluctuate, and trends in the market often affect the final sale prices. So is the 1951 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition valuable? The answer is yes, especially if you have a well-preserved example or, better yet, a rare error coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keeping an eye on these little treasures can pay off in the long run. Next up, the 1948 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. But we're not just talking about any penny. we're focusing on a specific one large date penny from 1948 without a mint mark and in bad condition. How much is this coin worth in today's auction market? Stick around, and let's find out. So, let's start by taking a look at the history behind this coin. The Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958 and was designed by Victor D. Brenner. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the front, and on the reverse we see two stalks of wheat, giving the coin its popular name. The wheat penny. This series was made to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and it's still one of the most beloved coins among collectors. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1948 wheat penny. Over 317 million pennies were minted in Philadelphia that year, which is why these pennies don't have a mint mark. Without a mint mark, these coins were produced in huge numbers. But just because they were common doesn't mean they're not valuable, especially to the right collector. Next, let's address the condition of the coin now. I know many of you are wondering how much a 1948 penny in bad condition could actually be worth. Condition plays a major role in a coin's value. When we talk about bad condition or a coin being heavily circulated, this means the coin has significant wear and tear. You might see faded details on Lincoln's face. The wheat stalks on the reverse might be worn down, and there could be scratches or even discoloration. These factors will greatly impact the value. So, how much is this coin worth in today's auction market? Well, if you have a 1948 wheat penny in bad condition without a mint mark, the value can range from just a few cents to a few dollars. While it's not going to make you a millionaire, it can still fetch a decent price, especially if you sell it to the right buyer. Coins in bad condition tend to sell for around $45,000, but at some auctions, collectors might be willing to pay up to $76,000, depending on the specific wear, rarity, and demand. But here's the interesting part. Even though this particular penny is common and in bad condition, it's still worth holding on to. Some collectors are specifically looking for worn coins or coins with character, especially if they're part of a larger collection. And remember, coin collecting is not just about the monetary value, it's about history, the stories behind each coin, and the thrill of finding something unique. Next up, the 1954 wheat penny with the S mint mark, and how much this coin could be worth in today's auction market. If you're a collector or just curious about valuable coins, make sure to stick around until the end of this video for all the details. Before we talk about value, let's first set the stage with some background. The Lincoln wheat penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, making it one of the most iconic coins in US history. The reverse side features the famous wheat stalks, and the obverse side bears the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. These coins are widely sought after by collectors, not just for their historical significance, but also for their design and unique minting details. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark was struck at the San Francisco Mint. It's part of the post-war era wheat pennies, where mintages were still relatively high, but there are still some valuable examples out there, depending on condition and unique errors. Let's dive into its auction value in good condition today. For those unfamiliar with coin grading, good condition refers to a coin that has been well circulated and shows significant wear. The details, especially Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse, may be worn, but the main design elements should still be visible. This is on the lower end of the grading scale, but even coins in good condition can have value due to factors like rarity, demand, and mint marks. Now, let's talk about what you came for the value. In today's auction market, a 1954 wheat penny with an S mint mark in good condition is typically valued at around $44,000. You may be thinking, that doesn't sound like much, but hang on, coin values can fluctuate based on factors like demand among collectors, any unique errors, or even trends in the numismatic world. Although 1954 S wheat pennies are common, it's the mint mark and the historical appeal that make them valuable to many collectors. Let's also not forget that coin values can skyrocket if any rare die errors or doubling are present. If your penny has something like a double die or a striking error, its value could go far beyond the average price range. So, there you have it. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark in good condition may not make you rich overnight, but it's still a valuable piece of US history and a staple for any collector. If you own one of these coins, it's always a good idea to check for rare errors or to get it professionally graded if you think it's in better condition than you realize. Next up, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny, particularly the large date variety without a mint mark. Despite its condition, this penny holds intriguing value in today's auction market. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the Lincoln Wheat penny. Struck from 1909 until 1958, this coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. It's a design that not only symbolizes American heritage, but also carries a story of its own. Now, focusing on the 1956 version, the large date variety stands out due to its distinctive numeral design. The large date can be differentiated from the small date version, which has a more compact appearance. Interestingly, both versions of the 1956 penny were minted in Philadelphia, and that's where our story gets more intriguing because the 1956 Lincoln penny, especially in bad condition, can still fetch significant prices. Speaking of condition, let's talk about what constitutes bad condition. A penny in bad condition may have significant scratches, discoloration, or other forms of damage that affect its overall appearance. However, even in this state, collectors look for historical significance and rarity. So what's the current value of a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark, particularly in bad condition? According to recent auction results, these coins can sell anywhere from $87,000. While that might not seem like a fortune, keep in mind that even common coins can have value to collectors, especially if they're part of a larger collection. Many collectors enjoy the thrill of hunting for coins like the 1956 Lincoln penny, even if they're not in pristine condition. Each coin tells a story, and finding one regardless of condition is exciting. Plus, these coins are often part of a set, and completing a set, even with less than perfect coins, can be very rewarding. As we wrap up our exploration of the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny in bad condition, it's important to remember that every coin has its place in history and value, even if it's modest. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, keep an eye out for these pieces. They might just be worth more than you think. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin-related content. Have you found any interesting coins lately? Share your stories in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting.